Okay, so this week we're talking home defense. So I did a short, I think earlier this week, uh, just off a sound bite that I saw where this is what I use when someone's trying to get into my house, and then this is what I use when someone's in my house, and so what I use for the this is what I use when somebody's trying to get into my house is my Palmetto State Armory Rock 5.7 caliber pistol. A lot of folks talk about the 5.7 round being over penetrating and everything, and I don't know if anybody's ever, not even just shooting, but just like maybe in construction or something like that, ever dealt with a front door. A front door to any type of resident apartment or a house is not like an interior door. It's not just thin plywood or anything. It's thick. In some cases, is metal. So everybody's seen the video. The guy somewhere I think it was Houston or Dallas, where the guy comes up pretending to be maintenance or whatever, and then tries to kick his door in with some other guy, and the guy ended up open fire. Bullets went through the wall mostly. Some went through the door. But so in a case like that, where you got somebody outside the door, hopefully you don't have neighbors directly across from you like that. Like in my situation, my neighbors across the street are kind of up on a hill. So if I'm firing through my front door, my rounds, if they're going straight, most likely won't go into my neighbor's house directly across the street from me. So it just all depends on knowing your background, like you know your foreground and your background. And so, even in my short, if you look at the short, go back watch my short. When I'm aiming down. So I'm shooting from a elevated position. If someone were to try to get in my house and I'm like, hey, what's going on? I could pick you out from an elevated position. So knowing a lot of different things, knowing your foreground, your background, knowing your positioning and all that, all plays a part into it. But I go back to the over penetrating. This is gonna cleanly go through that door and hit that target that I'm aiming at, because I could see my target as well. And then also with weapon choice, this has a weapon light. It has a, let's see, I get to go. You got a strobe feature as well. So, in the middle of the night, at an elevated angle, if I'm hitting you with a strobe, you can see where the light's coming from, but it's going to disorient you. I got a red dot on this thing, easy sight acquisition, and I'm on. So you got to think about those situations. So people talk about carrying a 5.7 as a daily. We're clear. People talk about carrying it as a daily with over penetration and stuff, and I've already addressed that in a previous video, saying that you don't ever know what circumstances you might be in, so you might need that. Your target might be behind some cover that you might need to penetrate. So this is a possibility for an intruder. And then again, you gotta know your state law too. Can you fire on someone who hasn't came into your house but is actively trying to get into your house? That's after the fact. I really wouldn't care if my state law allowed it or not. I'm going to defend my family and myself, and I'll just deal with the consequences after. But in most states, you'll be justified in someone trying to actively break into your house while you're there. In my state, that's it's not just a burglary, that's an aggravated burglary if you're at home and someone's trying to break in there. So it aggravates the crime a little more, so you'll be justified in defending yourself. That's in Tennessee. Then the other part of it, so that's one option. You can have a pistol, because if you're I don't think I ever saw what caliber that guy was shooting in Texas, but so dropping mags. So, what I carry in my my mainly everyday carry are RIP bullets. These will do damage to the body, but to a door and continuing through, it's gonna be a little different. So the impact between the 5.7 and the RIPs through a door is gonna be completely different. So that's another thing you need to think about your rounds. If you're using hollows, if you're using FMJs, if you're crazy enough, you got some incendiaries or something like that. Another option, well, ARP. These will definitely go through a door. If you're shooting 300 blackout, which this is chambered in, or if you're shooting 5.56 223, those will definitely go through a door. So that's one option. Also, you don't have one attached to that, but you can do a flashlight. You know, that one's got a red dot, so easy sight acquisition day and nighttime. So that's something to think about. So the other half of the video, or the short, was you know, once you're in the house, and I used my Panzer BP12 as an example of that. So this is a 12 gauge shotgun, and so we talked about penetration. Now you're in the house. What am I going to use for in-home defense? I like to call this the kitchen sink. So it's got, I think, 12 double eye buck, some metal shavings, another metal ring, and some bigger metal shavings after that. So around this, it's gonna send a lot of stuff flying a person's way. Now that you're in the house, this is gonna spread. It's gonna hit you. Even though I got a red dot on it, got backup sights on it. My flashlight broke on this, but you know, I had a flashlight. So this is gonna hit and not really penetrate. It might penetrate an inner wall, like some drywall or something like that, but it's not gonna just continue going. So it's gonna stop your threat that's in there. I'm getting clumsy today. Now, my Savage Stevens does, it's a lengthy barrel. Well, actually, it's the same length barrel as the Panzer. It's just with the bullpup style, the barrels in the frame of the gun, so it makes it a little easier to maneuver. I think for indoor activities, shorter, like ARPs, like if you need to clear a building or you have to do something inside it, I feel like it's easier with a shorter barrel to maneuver around and do what you need to do effectively. So, but I do have my pump action. It does have a flashlight, no red dot on it, just got a attachment, fiber optic attachment, which does kind of help on the bead. Another option would be a slug. Now a slug will give you a little bit more accuracy and a little more punch when it hits, but it's also possible for that to go a little further through, but not as far as a 5.56 round would, or 7.62. The penetration factor wouldn't be there. I also got just some regular double eye buck. So that's another option I would use. Inside, I would use more buck, and then you also got some birdshot. But I would go. I think Dave Chappelle had a joke about when he moved out to Wyoming or Ohio, I believe. He was looking for a shotgun, and the guy told him at the store, what you want to do is you want to go birdshot, buckshot, slug. So that's kind of how mine's loaded. Kind of like the bird shots are just a little. It was actually 2 double eye buck. What doing my bird? So maybe it's loaded in here. So yeah, the bird shots kind of like a tough warning. Like, I'm ready for you, and by the time I get to the buck, if you're still coming, it's gonna sit you down. And if the buck doesn't sit you down, that slug is definitely gonna do some damage. So that is what I would recommend. To have something that could penetrate a door smoothly, if you needed to, knowing your background after that, and mainly having buckshot. I would say buckshot would be the best in-home defense. That should be, everybody should have a shotgun. In my opinion, everybody should have a shotgun. Whether it be a pump action, a semi-auto, mag-fed, what they got, the over-unders. I'm actually kind of interested in the over-under too, so I don't know. But right now, all I got is I got my pump action, I got my bullpup semi-auto, and I got my AR-12 semi-auto mag-fed. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. Again, leave you guys with some range footage, and I just appreciate everybody from subscribing, sharing, liking, following, doing everything that you're doing. I broke 400 subscribers, so I'm happy about that. We're moving on to 500, then on to 750, 1,000, maybe 1,000,000. I don't know. I'm just like bringing these videos every week, and I just appreciate everybody again. I'm out.